Hi, and welcome to the Monday session. I say session because it's not quite live, is it? I'm in Portugal, running a bridge holiday, and in fact the week after, I'm then on holiday with the family, so which is nice. So this particular week, of course, I try to record my lives, so we're here, recorded. The Wednesday, I've recorded a pairs, that's on Q+. For those of you who want to play the hands, Eurobro 10, hands 15 to 26. So I'm playing a 12-board game again and talking about pairs, which of course is good news because that's what we're doing now. And hopefully you will discover a few part scores in that set of boards. So that's the plan. So do have a watch of that. And then my holiday starts on Friday, as it were. So there's no Friday live this week, nor the next week. And the week after that, there is a Friday, but it's recorded because I, believe it or not, I come back and then I go to Ireland. And then it gets calm again. So excuse my cavorting, as it were, and hopefully you'll let me enjoy my holiday with the family. It's half term, of course, in the schools. So what's going on? Well, we're going to have our usual thing. We've got our usual set of holidays. There's me. I'm off to Tenerife. And then we've got Croatia and Mallorca on offer. And other holidays to come. So plenty to choose from. In terms of what we're doing in this session, we haven't got a 5-level decision. What we've got is our bidding quiz at the end, and I am going to be going through Greedober hands. We're in Greedober after all, looking to make the most on the traveller. And so quite often in part scores, that's avoiding an overtrick if you can defeat them. And I've got some examples for you that I've picked up from various places, a huge variety of them. So we're going to go through those. Just a quick reminder of what I'm not going to see you until November. So November, we are unblocking, blocking in defence. So we had a little look at unblocking and blocking as declarer last year, last November. This November, we are doing it as defenders, some of which is easy, some of which is difficult. And what's quite interesting is there is one hand, I think, in our examples of part scores that's going to include an element of that. So that's quite a nice touch. On the Fridays, we will eventually, when I'm back, be starting a new topic, and that's defending doubled contracts, which we've touched on before, but I want to take that a bit further because for me, it's a really important topic. I want you to double more, and I then want you to defend the doubled contracts better. And we will see, funnily enough, that will coincide with double annui as we go on. So I think that will work quite well. So defending doubled contracts will be our Friday sessions because we will have finished our negative double discussion. And of course, we've got our usual suspects in terms of the holidays abroad. Reboot your defence. Can't recommend that more. It's a great way to start the year. It's hard work, so if you're not up for it, don't come, but I think you'll enjoy it if you do come, and you'll see that we've got a variety of events early in the season, of course, including, I nearly forgot that, the Isle of Wight. How long have I been going to the Isle of Wight, someone asks me. I think it must be up to 10 years. I mean, we had the gap with, one gap with COVID. I think it was only 1 year we missed because we'd just done, we will have just done the Isle of Wight because it tends to come February, end of February or mid-February. And of course, lockdown was just in March. So just one miss. So what else is there? I think that is that. So I'm going to give you a quick run over, as it were, what we've been talking about in terms of defending part scores at pairs. And then we'll look at my examples. So let's just nip over to here. And all I was going to do is just give you that sum up. Trumps are really important, as we know. You've got to work out whether you draw them or not. And ideally, you do need to know how the scoring system works. Okay. And that's important. You know, every 10 points counts. Greed is good. Simple as that. You get them 1 off, might not be a good score. 2 off might be a top. Okay. I mean, it's subtle, isn't it? They're non-vulnerable, -50. Any part score they make, any part score you can make means -50 is no good. But -100, suddenly 2 diamonds and 1 no trump, you've just beaten those. 2 diamonds and 1 no trump to score 90. Obviously vulnerable, 100 or 200. You know, understanding the scoring is important. Okay, we are going to start looking at these examples. We've got 4 of them. We'll see how we get on. Here's the first one. This one's a little bit esoteric, I will admit. When I first played it, I thought, what did we finish in this contract? Well, you're going to see in a moment. East opens 1 spade, and obviously we just passed that. North does a takeout double. So East redoubles that. So East is just showing a strong hand, I would guess. They're vulnerable, we're not. I don't see any reason for us to bid here. You know, if partners so, you know, our partner might decide. I mean, my spades are good enough to think that if partner really wanted to play in 1 spade redouble, I suppose we could play in it. But all we're doing is saying I haven't got any choice now. North has chosen to pass that. So that is a surprise. So this is a part score hand, but if they do make it, they make game. So I'm not sure. It seems an unusual action of North. However, if we get it 1 off, it's worth game, 400 points. So it's an interesting decision. There's a lot of money on this one. What would you lead against it? That's your first choice. We're not going to lead trumps. So this is an interesting scenario here. Our trumps are sitting over East, so therefore we don't want to lead them. We're quite happy for partner to lead them. So for me, it would be the safest lead possible, and that would be the Jack of Clubs. Okay. Well, that is interesting, isn't it? It looks like, wow. It looks like East has got a lot of points, but I mean, West is absolutely grotesque. Well, we'll see what happens. Partner's won the king, and he's just going to play another club back, which is ruffed. Do we have to worry about anything? Not really, I don't think. The only thing to worry about maybe is if we keep forcing East to ruff, we may get longer trumps than East and might get end played at the end of the hand. That might sound silly. We've also got to work out which suit to lead of. Hearts looks a bit. The heart suit looks a bit frozen to me, and that's going to be a constant theme in part score contracts. We talk about a trump suit being frozen as well, side suits as well. That's what you've got to be looking at. And the hearts, to me, remember, East is probably going to have to lead from his hand almost every single time. If we can force that, then I think we've got a reasonable chance here. Okay, the Ace of Spades is no surprise. Wow. So I think that Q Plus assumed that our pass showed stronger spades than we have. And that's all I can think. To me, pass is just saying, look, I'm ambivalent. But I think Q Plus, because he started as a void with the North hand, is obviously thinking we've got maybe 5 or 6 spades. I don't know. Anyway, we're still in with the chance. Partner's 9 of diamonds to me is saying he's got the ace. So that's good news. It means that Declarer can't really place diamonds easily, and we can play king, ace, and a ruff. So that is good news. In fact, I'm going to put my king up here. In a sense, you could say that's unblocking, but I'll put my king up, and I will then lead to partner's ace. I think that's relatively straightforward. And ideally, partner can give us a ruff there. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, because we now shorten our trumps. Does that make sense? I'm still not leading hearts. Okay, really important that I need to force Declarer, so I'm just going to play the 10 of clubs here. Okay, I know that forces Declarer to ruff. Let's see what happens. Remember, no diamonds left in Declarer's hand. Okay, and that's perfect. I don't think there's the... I think I've got to play small there. Partner might have the king. Yeah, that's brilliant. So, I mean, for example, if Declara's got ace 10 there, can you see what's happened? By not leading it ourselves, we've forced Declara to lead away from that ace. And that is, Declara does have ace 10. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I'm going to play another heart now. And there it is, the ace wins. And I think we've made it. We've got 6 tricks and we've still got the queen of trumps. Isn't that amazing? So we have managed to defeat it by 1. Let's just have a quick look at the hand. And it's the heart suit that's the important one. And we're going to see this on a number of the hands that we look at. Okay, what we're seeing, what we're going to see is that essentially you've got to be careful of some of the side suits. So if we had led a heart, okay, or if we go up with the queen of hearts there, you're endangering the hearts. Poor old Declara was forced to lead from his hand. In diamonds, we were able to play the king and ace and ruff a diamond, okay, shortening our trumps, which is what we wanted to do, but stops Declara gaining anything. Okay, we were then able to put him back on lead by playing clubs, and eventually East had to lead hearts from his own hand. If we had led a heart, it would go small, small, king and ace, and Declara has a heart trick with his 10 and jack. So poor Declara ended up losing 2 diamonds, 2 hearts and a club, that's 5, and he lost 2 trumps to us. Okay. If we never make a ruff, for example, maybe we'd played low on the first diamond, partner wins the ace, we win the king. We may well find ourselves, as I say, being longer trumps than East, and therefore at the very end of the hand being forced to lead from our queen of trumps. We had no such problems, and of course 1 spade redoubled, which is, as I say, an esoteric hand, ends up getting you a great score. Okay, so 1 off is 400, as you can see. I don't think we should be in 1 spade redoubled. I have no idea why North felt the need to do that. I would have thought just rebidding 2 clubs looks normal, and 2 clubs looks like the most normal contract, or 3 clubs, or however much. If they bid to 2 spades, I think double becomes more normal. 2 spades doubled. Hopefully, if you get it 2 off, would give you 500. Okay, and now you feel happy. 1 spade, I think, normally we'd finish in clubs, and 3 clubs looks like a sensible contract. I don't think you want to be any higher than 3 clubs, but you do pretty well. You might make as much as 130 or 150, depending on how the defence fares, as it were. Okay, let's look at the next one. All right, you are south again. It's a 2 spade opening bid. A 2 spade opening bid. Now, this is a borderline hand. You're non-vulnerable against vulnerable. That shouldn't really affect your decision. I just think you're too flat here. I certainly don't want to do a takeout double. Your options for me are pass or 3 diamonds. And I think pass is reasonable here. The point is, though, you get a little bit worried when it gets passed out. Okay, you do get a little bit worried when it gets passed out. However, look at the vulnerability. They are vulnerable, you're not. Yes, I believe we can make a part score, but I'm hopeful of getting the contract down. Given I've got 3 aces, I think it makes sense to lead a trump. I mean, it's not ideal because it might help Declara draw the trumps, but we'd prefer 1, not to lead our aces, and 2, once we see dummy, we may well know which suit we should be attacking and which one not. And also bear in mind that East is vulnerable, first in hand, may well have a strong suit anyway, so the trump lead won't necessarily cost. So what's our ambitions? My ambition, ideally, I've got a good hand. Why not aim for 2 off? And if we get it 2 off, I think we're going to get a great score. Okay, so we've led a trump. Dummy's put the king on. Dummy's got a nice 9 count, which is good news for us. Why do I say that? Well, it means we're unlikely to have a game on here, maybe. If there's 9 points there, a vulnerable opener, looks like they've got ace, queen, jack. They could have ace, queen, jack. We might have 24, 25 points, but it's not obvious where the game is going to be, is it? We haven't got a fit in spades, obviously they have. We haven't got a fit in hearts, so we'd have to be playing in 5 of a minor. And that seems surely a long way away. So I'm happy that there's no game on. So actually, let's aim for 2 off. Okay. Yep, it looks like Declare has got all of the trumps. And we've got a spare diamond. I'll play the 4 rather than the 3 here. You know, it's not much, but so partner had 3 spades to the 10. And Declare's not going to have much more. So Declare's got ace, queen, jack to 6. You don't expect him to have much more, so that's important. Okay, and a nice small heart. Partner's won the jack. And leads a diamond back. That's nice. Okay, very important here. We now know that Declare has nothing else in clubs. Okay, Declare has actually shown 10 points. So, what is there to think about here? Well, I think we can safely play ace of clubs, 10 of clubs, surely just lead through. We know partner's got king jack. I mean, Declare can't have 11 points. So we can just safely just attack like that. Okay, and partner can play the last club. Okay, so that's neat. Okay, Declare plays a diamond. We can just play the queen. Are you going to be greedy or not? Yeah, let's be greedy. Okay, now that seems amazing, doesn't it? Why didn't Declare put the king up? Okay, so that is greed. Is it too greedy? Because if Declare puts the king up, he cashes the jack of diamonds there. Okay, but I think Declare is taking the options. It's good Declare play. He's got 2 chances by finessing. Okay, so finesse the 10 of hearts and the 9 of hearts. It's really unlucky if North has the queen and jack, isn't it? Okay, but the key is Declare can't see the cards. Okay, and so in the end, Declare is going to lose another heart, believe it or not, and that is 2 off. So this is one of the hardest aspects of defense here, is understanding that Declare cannot see your hand. So if you look at the heart suit, the normal way for Declare to play that heart suit is, rather than just leading up to the king, that's a 50-50 chance, he is leading up to the 9 of hearts and then leading up to the 10 of hearts. The only time he will not make an extra heart trick is if North has the queen and jack. And that is a 25% chance. Now, we know that that's the case on this hand, but East doesn't. So East is taking his best chance. Okay, and we're giving him a chance to go wrong. So if you trust that Declare knows what he's doing, you just naturally play a second heart there. Okay, now maybe you could have played it earlier. So when Declare put the king up to the ace of diamonds, maybe play a heart straight back there, and then of course Declare doesn't have the jack of diamonds, so that might have been safer. But the key is just hide your ace of hearts. Nobody knows you've got it, and as long as you hide it, Declare should go wrong here. And suddenly, 2 off is a top. 1 off, I think that'll be okay. But if one of you decides to bid, then you might scrape home in a part score. I'm not quite sure how you get to. You'd have to, I mean, if you did a takeout double, which I think is an ugly bid, partner would bid 3 clubs and you would get to the right part score. And 3 clubs, you would end up making, you might even make an over trick in it. You'd make 110 or 130 in 3 clubs. Whereas, I mean, 3 diamonds is going to be a bit, looks a bit ugly, I'm afraid. 3 diamonds, you're likely to lose 2 trumps, I think. So quite often, I think you'll end up going 1 off, perhaps. But the key is, let's say, whenever you've got a hand like this, it's not surprising that a part score will make. So if you can get 2 off, you get 200. Is East too strong for a week 2? Excuse me. That's up to you. He is vulnerable against not. So some people will play 6 to 10 in this kind of scenario. Whereas vulnerable, if East had been non-vulnerable against vulnerable, that would be much too strong and I would open 1 spade. So again, that's up to you to decide as a partnership. It's important to know that because I think you should bid with East hand. You either open 1 spade or 2 spades, depending on your style. So that one, I really like that kind of hand. Okay, it's the kind of hand where you are trying not to be self-conscious about what you hold in your hand. So a lot of defenders will not manage to duck or play low on the first two hearts. Okay, as long as you do that, correct declarer play is finessing the 9 and finessing the 10, and therefore losing 3 heart tricks. And that's what takes declarer down. I think possibly taking the gamble the way we did there was a bit too much. Maybe when we won the ace of diamonds, playing a second heart at that point gives declarer the chance to go wrong without giving him the upside of making the contract. And then, of course, we would be able to, assuming declarer did the same thing and put the 10 in, put the 9 in, we would get our 2 off. And that's important. Okay, let's look at the next one. What do you fancy opening with this hand? 12 points. I think the hearts aren't brilliant, so I would probably choose a no trump. I don't mind that. I don't mind, though, if you bid a heart followed by 2 hearts in my book. But I mean, it's. I think one no trump is reasonable. Partners transferred to hearts. Well, here I am going to break the transfer because clearly we have a 10-card heart fit. It's not a great hand, so I don't break to other suits. To me, a break to 3 hearts here is saying, partner, we've got a big fit. Okay, and it keeps them. Well, I was going to say it keeps them out of the auction, but it hasn't. East has come back in here. And partner's made a penalty double for me, that is. So that's the end of that. So remember, I've bid a no trump. I've also shown what I've got in hearts and part. So that's interesting. 1 off is a top. So partner has, and I think that's sensible from partner. I think if partner's got 10 points here, partner's probably thinking, look, all we need to do is take 4 clubs, 1 off, and we've got a top partner. Let's do it. Okay. Not only that, if game has any chance, 2 off beats game. So remember, East-West are vulnerable here. So what do you fancy? So it's partner on lead, and partner leads the ace of hearts. And we have to decide what to do. If we want to switch, then we would probably play the lowest one. I think we know how the hearts break. Partner doesn't, but we know how they break. They are 5-5-2-1, so declarer has a singleton. But we don't want partner switching here. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm worried about the diamond suit here. Okay. What do I think partner's got in his hand? He's got ace-jack to 5 hearts or ace-queen to 5 hearts. And surely he has the king of diamonds. He has to have something to double. He can't just have the ace of hearts in his hand. So I think he must have the king of diamonds, in which case we do not want a diamond switch. Okay, let me try and put that into perspective. Okay, so let's say declarer's got 5 clubs. Okay, let's give him 5 clubs, maybe a singleton hearts. We know he's got that because partner showed 5, remember. Okay. That leaves 7 cards. If declarer has 4 spades, he's got 3 diamonds. There's no discards. If he's got 3 spades, he can discard 1 diamond, but he'd have 4. We have no urgency to play diamonds. And my worry is I've got 1 honor, dummy's got 1 honor. And what that means, of course, is it could be a frozen suit. So I'm going to encourage partner to play hearts because I don't want a diamond switch. Does that make sense? Okay. Right. So we get the rough as we expect. Okay, there goes the spade. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 clubs and play a spade. If that makes sense, that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to give a rough and discard, can't play hearts, so I'm going to let declarer have his spades. I'm going to force declarer to play diamonds. Okay, there we go. So he's got a diamond discard, but I don't think that's useful to him. Okay, so we just throw in. He tries a diamond. We can win the queen now, and now we can play a diamond back. Remember, we can't give a rough and discard. Well, we can, but we don't want to. We're hoping that partner's got the king 9, for example. There we go. And that's beautiful. So we do indeed make the last trick. Let's have a look at the diamond suit and see what it looks like. And there you go. Okay, there you go. And that's a beautiful example of a frozen suit. If we lead a diamond, either of us, so if North leads a diamond, it goes small, small, queen, and then the jack and 10 can be led to pin the king. Or if we lead a diamond, it would go small, jack, king and ace, and declarer can then lead up to his 10. Now, as it happens, one off will be okay here because partner's doubled it. And I think he's right too. He's got 9 points. He's thinking, look, we've got at least the half the pack. I like North's double. Let me just show you the auction again. You know, although we've got a 9 or 10 card fit from his point of view in hearts, he's thinking, look, game hasn't got a chance because my hand's pretty rubbish. So I want to take the money. And of course, with them vulnerable, the double is valuable. If it had been undoubled, and that maybe would have been the case for some of you, then taking it 2 off really is important. Really important. Okay. Well, we got one last hand. So let's look at that. And then we are done. So here we are. This one is, let's have a look. So we're north this time, if that's all right. 1 heart from west. We were just past that. 1 no trump, 2 hearts. Okay. I imagine that's that. Okay, we've got a nice hand, but nothing to say. We're expecting 6 hearts from the west hand. I don't really want to lead away from any of the holdings. So again, it's a trump lead to me. I'm not particularly attacking with the trump lead. I'm just thinking that's surely all I can do. Okay. Don't be too worried about the Queen of Hearts. I think it's going to die anyway. We expect West to have 6 hearts here. Remember, 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 hearts. Gosh, East has got quite a nice hand. So what's interesting here is he's downgraded his 10. He hasn't got an ace. I'm not sure I would have done, but there you go. He has. So we're expecting Declarer probably to make this contract. I'm expecting Declarer to make 6 hearts. So quite often on hands like this, your job is simple. It is to make as many tricks as you can. So remember, 2 hearts plus 1, 2 hearts plus 2 are all better than 2 hearts. So we're just trying to be a bit careful, that's all. Okay, so Declarer has won the ace of hearts and is leading a club. We just play small. Okay, that's a nice start for us. I'm guessing that could be a singleton. That would be my guess there. So I'd probably put Declarer maybe with 6 hearts, singleton club. 3-3 is probably the most likely, isn't it? Because Declarer might have shown another. So it could be 4 spades, of course, because you can't do a reverse. So we'll see. Partner's leading a diamond. Okay, interesting. I'm trusting my partner here. That 2 of diamonds, I expect partner to have the queen of diamonds. Okay. So I'll play small. I don't think I have to unblock the jack particularly, but I think partner will have the queen. Does that make sense? Partner's led low to suggestion or not. There's no way he's got a singleton diamond there. Not on the auction. So remember, that would give Declarer 5 and Declarer only bid 1 suit. Okay, another trump. So it was a singleton. No surprise there. It's just the way that Declarer sort of jack a heart, drawing trumps. Yeah. That's an interesting discard. That. The spade's gone. So I'm trusting myself here. I believe partner's got the queen of diamonds. I'm a little bit... Let's work out the spade suit here. I think I can afford to lead a spade now, whether partner's got the queen or the jack. So can you work that out? This is really tricky, this. On opening lead, I was worried because there was 3 spades in dummy. But now, imagine partner's got the jack of spades. If I lead a small one, if Declarer plays small, the jack loses to the queen, but then my ace can drop the bare king. So that's fine. And if the king goes up, then partner later on can lead a spade. And that's the crucial play here. I've just said partner later on can lead a spade. But partner can only lead a spade later on if partner can get on lead. And as I say, November's topic, or is it December's topic? I'm trying to remember. November's topic is unblocking and blocking in defence. So I'm going to play the king here because I trust my partner has the queen. I want my partner to get the lead later. I now lead a low spade. Declare sort of has to play the king, otherwise we can just drop it on the next round. And I'll tell you what, I'll open up the hands here. Declare has decided to try and make the jack of clubs there, but if I just go back here, it's subtle, isn't it? But now there's nothing Declare can do. If he plays a diamond, South wins the queen and can lead through. So where we got to here, I tell you what, let me play a low diamond instead. So if I put the jack of diamonds in there, okay, I've won that. What do I do now? Okay, I try a spade. Okay, same as before. The problem here is now, can you see that Declare could ruff a club and play a diamond? I don't know if he's going to. Well, let's see. Ruffs a club, plays a diamond, and we are now end played. Ace of spades, and then Declare makes the queen for an over trick. Instead, what we did is we trusted our partner's play. We play the king, setting ourselves up so that partner can get the lead. The spade is clever because a spade at this point, although it looks a frozen suit, because East has discarded a spade, he can't now play low, because if he plays low, my ace will drop his king later. Okay, and as you've seen, he decided to try and make his trick by winning the jack of clubs, but we win that, and that's the end of that. Okay, eventually Declare has to lead away from, well, or just give us the spade trick, and there you go. So that is two hearts making. So you're sort of thinking, what's the point of seeing this hand, two hearts making? But this is a classic part score hand where I would expect a large majority of people to make two hearts plus one. Okay, it's all again, most of these hands have had frozen suits galore. Okay, and that is a big theme. And a lot of the time, that theme will be in the trump suit as well. We had two trump leads on the hands, whereas, and two non-trump leads. But trumps is our main port of call. But it's also these frozen suits. And of course, one of the things we talked about was that frozen suits can actually come up in the trump suit, particularly when Declare has bad trumps. Okay, so that is our journey amongst part score contracts which we've been defending. It's greed over, every 10 points counts. So let's have a look at the bidding quiz before I head off into the sunsets of Portugal. One diamond on your right, you double for takeout. One no trump on your left, and then double from your partner. Pass. So it goes one diamond, double, one no trump, double, pass, and it's your turn to bid. You can get the answer, of course, on the website, whether you're a member or non-member. Don't forget to come and join us, though. If you're not a member already, you're welcome to. And you get all sorts of perks, as well as being able to do everything on the website. And gosh knows, there's a lot on it. But you also get your discounts of some of the holidays and all sorts of other things. So do come and join us. Don't forget, all sorts of holidays and things like that. I'm going to be back eventually. That's all I can say. I am back in November. I'll see you on one of the Mondays there. Don't forget, there is a recording of the Wednesday pairs. And then there's a little break when I'm having a holiday with the family. And then eventually I will see you again, I hope. So thanks for your company. See you again soon.